Meet Oakley and Ash, best friends since the day they were planted. Their branches provide a home to many animals, such as these two birds, and every fall they provide their caretakers with delicious fruit. In the summer, they keep the yard cool with their shade, and they also block harsh winds. This helps regulate the temperature and save the family a noticeable amount on their energy bills. In addition, both trees clean the air by trapping dust and pollutants, and their beautiful presence have increased the house's property value. There have been some difficulties as well. Every fall the trees drop all of their leaves, and raking them up becomes a never-ending chore. Oakley causes a lot more trouble than Ash by cracking the tiles with his roots, and one autumn storm he is blown over and crashes into the house. But why did Ash not crash into the house? The difference between these trees lies in the soil. Good soil is crucial for resilient trees. About half of the soil should be pore space. These pore spaces act like a sponge, absorbing water during floodings and holding onto it for the dry times, helping trees to survive droughts. The soil should also contain nutrients for the tree and worms and centipedes to break up the earth with their tunnels, allowing air and water to pass through. Zooming in further, we see even smaller forms of life, like fungi and bacteria. These microbes help further decompose organic material into useful nutrients. They also act as the tree's immune system to fight off harmful microbes. Without them, trees like Oakley struggle to survive. One of the most important microbes in the soil is the mycorrhiza. This special fungus forms a symbiotic relationship with trees like Ash. His long thin arms find nutrients in the cracks in the soil that Ash can't reach. In return, Ash shares his sugars with Michael. Both organisms benefit from this mutually beneficial relationship. Michael's underground arms also connect to other plants in the area, creating what scientists call a mycorrhizal network. Plants share water and nutrients through this network, and they can even send warning signals if one of them is under attack. With this network, the whole plant community is more resilient and healthier. There are over 8,000 species of mycorrhizae in the world, and only a few of them can pair with each type of tree. While Ash was in a healthy symbiosis, Oakley had a troubled partnership that doomed him from the start. Now let us roll back the clock to Oakley and Ash's childhood and see what caused the difference between their soil. Oakley was planted by removing a towel from the garden and putting him in the hole. Afterwards, his caretakers compacted the soil so that he could stand up straight. In contrast, Ash was planted in a green garden with crumbly soil and lots of space for nutrients and water. On top of that, the old plant's roots had left behind paths in the soil that Ash could follow to build his own roots. These paths also allow water, nutrients, and oxygen to penetrate into the soil and feed all the life beneath. On the other hand, Oakley's soil was one dense, compacted slab, making it very difficult for his roots to dig in. To make matters worse, harmful microbes that do not need oxygen competed with him for nutrients. When Oakley's caretakers noticed he wasn't doing so well, they bought fertilizers and antibiotics to add nutrients to the soil and kill the harmful microbes. Unfortunately, these harmful chemicals also killed most of the good microbes, and most of the nutrients washed away in the rain. They ended up in a vicious cycle of having to add more chemicals and more fertilizer that just kept washing away. You can imagine the soil as a vibrant city with many inhabitants. Adding chemical fertilizers is like dropping candy bars from a plane. They may be tasty, but if it's the only thing to eat, many of the inhabitants will die. Instead, the citizens need healthy and varied nutrients to survive. On top of that, compacting the soil is like a Godzilla stomping through the city, destroying all the pore space that houses the microbes. The city in the soil needs to be healthy before the city above the soil can be healthy. Cities are especially tough environments for trees because the pavement traps heat and retains less water and nutrients. You can help the struggling urban trees by making their living conditions as good as possible and taking care of the soil. Now that Oakley is gone, his caretakers miss him, so they plant a new baby Oakley. This time, they take good care of the soil and the microbes underneath so that he can grow as strong and healthy as Ash.